Chapter 1161 Nourish the Pregnancy. Did Tiandong find out whether Qiao Zijin had done anything to anger my mom? It cannot be. Given Qiao Zijin's personality, if my mom were to be angry with her, she would have done so a long time ago and Qiao Zijin would not have any say in the Qiao family. What made her mother change her attitude all of a sudden and refuse to spend any more money on Qiao Zijin? Even though she had been through rebirth, she was not invincible. Qiao Nan was not able to understand what Ding Ji was thinking about. No matter what, now that the two troublemakers are gone, you can have a good night's rest today. You must not overtire my nephews or nieces. You are carrying twins. The doctor said that you will have premature labor. This is not even your 7th month, but your tummy is already so large. I have already made arrangements with the hospital. I don't think you will be able to go to school when school reopens in September. Zihua sighed with relief. Qiao Nan was indeed lucky. It was likely that Qiao Nan was pregnant in January. In normal cases, she would be due for delivery after 10 months of pregnancy. After 1 month of confinement, she would be able to go back to school earliest by the end of this semester. However, Qiao Nan was carrying twins, and she would have premature labor. Perhaps Qiao Nan would have been done with her confinement and she would be able to go back to school before November. If that was the case, she would have only missed half of the semester. Yes, Mom has discussed it with me. She will help me apply for at least 2 months of leave at school in September. Qiao Nan touched her round tummy. She had been mentally prepared. Sister Zihua, it is summer break now. Do Zhu Baoqiu and Shi Qing have a summer break? I haven't seen Uncle Zhu and the two of them. Could they have returned to Pingcheng? They did not have any family or relatives in Pingcheng. What would they be doing in Pingcheng? They are in a different school. They must have received a special task. For them, going to school is similar to going to the army. Zhu Baoqiu and Shi Qing would not be able to come home frequently. Their situation is similar to that of Zai Sheng, except that Zai Sheng is busier than them. They might not be able to make it back to see your babies after your delivery. Zihua had no wish to talk about Zai Sheng, the father of the children. She knew that it was even more impossible for Zai Sheng to make it back in time. She had no wish to bring him up lest she upset Qiao Nan. Are the two of them still very active? Zihua was immersed in doing 2 tasks recently. Firstly, it was to lift Qiao Nan's clothes, placing her hands on her tummy and talking to the babies. Secondly, it would be to accompany Qiao Nan to go for walks, ensuring that she had been exercising so that she would have a smooth labor. Qiao Nan had yet to reply when Zihua felt a bulge at the part of Qiao Nan's tummy where she rested her hands on. Are they saying hello to me? Qiao Nan knitted her eyebrows. As time passed by, her babies seemed to be more active and would exert more force when they moved about in her tummy. When she first experienced the fetus movement, she was startled. She did not feel any discomfort. However, whenever the babies threw punches or kicks in her tummy now, she would feel a piercing pain. I don't think they are saying their greetings. They are doing the military drill instead. They want to learn from you. It is still all right if my babies are boys. It will be troublesome if they are girls. If they were sons, they would grow up to be outstanding like Brother Zai, and they would become real men with an indomitable spirit. However, things would be different if they were daughters. The Zai family would have Zihua Juniors then. At the thought of Zihua's behavior and temperament, Qiao Nan felt giddy and helpless. If she had daughters, she hoped that they would be well-behaved and adorable. Military drill? That's great. The two of you must behave yourself while in your mom's tummy. After you come to the world, I will show you the military drill and train you, okay? Zihua's eyes lit up. She spoke in a gentle tone, unlike her tough lady image. In order to show that they liked their auntie, the babies gave a fierce kick to Qiao Nan again. Qiao Nan could not help but suck in her breath in pain. Sister Zihua, stop teasing them. If this goes on, I will be moaning in pain. The two brats exert a lot of force in their kicks. I don't know how long they will be able to stay in my tummy. Babies would be able to receive double the nourishment when in the mother's womb than when they were born. Therefore, premature babies would be weaker than full-term babies. If the babies were born more than 1 month earlier than the due date, they might take more than 10 years to make up for the deficit in nourishment. It was challenging to have twins, particularly when they were so naughty and mischievous. Xiaonan was worried at how active her babies were. She feared that they might be born prematurely. How can a mother say this of their babies? Don't worry. They will be well behaved and they will make it easy for you. Hopefully, they will not be born prematurely. There are so many of us. We will be able to take good care of them. The doctor already said that a pregnant lady would think too much. I will not take issue with you. As long as Xiaonan did not give birth right away, it was all right if the babies were born slightly before their due date. Notwithstanding twins, some babies were born 1 month, 2 months, or even 3 months before their due date. But it was true that babies born 3 months before their due date would be weaker and smaller. Let's go. It's time for your walk. Given your condition, you cannot have too many exercises, but you can't sit at home every day either. Let's do some exercise. Zihua acted like the clock. Once it was time, she would get Xiaonan to do simple exercises like taking a walk. Zihua was the only person who took care of Xiaonan for the past few months. Ziyai was busy with work. Although Miaojing did not need to accompany him on his business trips like how she did back then, she would still have to attend and accompany him to certain events from time to time. Furthermore, Miaojing was not familiar with the practices of pregnant ladies nowadays as well as the nourishment needed for babies. It was vastly different from what she had in the past. Zihua had learned a lot about how to take care of pregnant ladies from the female doctor. Chapter 1162 Pregnant Lady had the final say. At times, what Zihua said made more sense than Miaojing, and she knew more than Miaojing. As such, the Zai family handed the task of taking care of Xiaonan to Zihua. They also hoped that she would be more ladylike, detailed, and patient while taking care of Xiaonan. Fortunately, Zihua seemed to be doing a good job. It had been more than 3 months and she had been taking good care of Xiaonan. She never behaved recklessly or caused harm to Xiaonan and the babies. It's so warm. Zihua had postponed their walk to 7 o'clock in the evening to avoid the hot and stuffy afternoons in July and August. Xiaonan would feel unwell in the summer. Particularly now that she, a pregnant lady, had a higher body temperature, the evening stroll was a torture to Xiaonan. Whenever she was back from her stroll, her blouse would be drenched with perspiration. Thankfully, after strolling for a few months, Xiaonan noticed that she was physically stronger. Nan, I have applied for leave for you. You can rest well at home. As her elder and mother-in-law, Miaojing made a phone call to the principal of Peking University at the end of August to help Xiaonan apply for leave, hoping that he would approve of her leave. Since Madame Zai made the phone call personally, the principal had no way to reject her request. Although Miaojing did not state clearly Xiaonan's reasons for applying for leave or when she would return to school, the principal had no other choice but to approve the leave. Thank you, Mom. Xiaonan sat on the sofa, touching her tummy. She did not look well. She was in her 8th month of pregnancy. Xiaonan knew that her tummy was especially large. The weight of her tummy was almost unbearable for her. Xiaonan did not feel comfortable sitting, standing, or even lying down on the bed. She felt unwell and exhausted. Her fair and slender legs were swollen due to pregnancy. Her lower limbs were swollen and her upper body felt bloated as well. Xiaonan could not fit into all the clothes that she bought in the past and she had to buy new clothes. Xiaonan could only wear slippers and she had to buy large sizes in order to fit into them. Xiaonan went through a lot of suffering for the babies. Outsiders would not be able to know the tortures that mothers went through. Zihua was startled at how swollen Xiaonan was. She moved into Zai Sheng's and Qiao Nan's room so that she could share a room with her and take care of Qiao Nan when she woke up feeling unwell in the middle of the night. Zai Hua, the auntie, had done everything that Zai Sheng, as a father, should have done. Zai Hua would wake up in the middle of the night to massage Qiao Nan's legs when she woke up crying due to leg cramps. "Mom, Nan doesn't look well. The doctor reminded us that Nan will have premature labor. Nan's tummy is very large and she is in her 8th month. I am worried." Zai Hua's heart ached seeing how Qiao Nan suffered due to the pregnancy. Giving birth was a torture to women. It was no wonder that people used to say that giving birth was akin to making a trip to hell. Apart from her tummy, Qiao Nan's figure looked like that of a young lady when she was in her 6th month of her pregnancy. But once she was in her 7th month, she started to become swollen and went out of shape. She had the figure of a middle-aged auntie, doing her groceries in the market. There was once when Qiao Nan had terrible leg cramps and she cried in pain until her eyes were swollen. Zai Hua made a phone call to the army and gave Zai Sheng a lashing. "You are a brat. You had happy times fooling around with Qiao Nan, but do you know the pain that she is in now that she is pregnant with your babies? You can't even stay by her side to take care of her and she has to face everything by herself. Zai Sheng, although you are my brother, I can't stand it anymore. If you do not treat Nan well in the future, I will take your children away and we will despise and ostracize you for being such a bad father." Zai Sheng wanted very much to stay by Qiao Nan's side, but he could not do that. He was not angry that Zai Hua lashed out at him. In fact, he felt heartbroken. Even though he did not see it for himself, he could tell from Zai Hua's tone and anger that Qiao Nan, who was carrying twins, must be going through a lot. Zai Sheng worked extra hard to complete his missions and the orders from his higher UPS in order to go back as soon as possible to accompany Qiao Nan and to be by her side when their babies were delivered. "Stop saying nonsense." Miao Jing gave Zai Hua a light smack. Nan will panic at your words." Miao Jing had seen a lot of cases whereby the pregnant ladies would go into premature labor after being affected by the people around her. Nan, you are in your 8th month. It will be harder on you. If you can't take it, let's go to the hospital in advance. We can ask the doctor if we can deliver the babies earlier than the due date. Since Nan had such a large tummy, her babies must be well nourished. If she carried the babies for a few more months, the babies would be fine but the mother might not be able to take it. The babies should be well developed in the 8th month. It will not be a problem to deliver them. Qiao Nan took a deep breath, forcing a smile on her face. "Mom, I understand your intentions. There is no need to expedite the delivery. I can still take it. Perhaps I am too dainty. Other ladies feel especially well despite carrying twins or triplets. They will not feel as tired as me. It was better not to have premature labor." After reading many books on pregnancy, Qiao Nan knew that it would be better for the babies to stay in the mother's womb for as long as possible. They were brother's eyes and her babies. They were very precious to them. If other mothers could do it, so could she. She believed that she would do a better job. Since Qiao Nan was insistent, Miao Jing had no other choice but to go with her decision. Miao Jing was worried for Qiao Nan. It was not that she was dainty, but it was because she was too young. Qiao Nan did not lead a good life when she stayed with the Qiao family. Miao Jing knew that there was a period of time where she was undernourished. Miao Jing was unhappy with Ding Jiyi. It must be due to Ding Jiyi that Qiao Nan had such a difficult time carrying the twins. If Ding Jiyi was not so biased and had taken better care of Qiao Nan, she would have a stronger constitution, and she would not have such a difficult time now. Miao Jing had never seen such a vicious mother. The Zai family was concerned for Qiao Nan and her babies. Miao Jing and Zai Hua spent all their time taking care of her. Chapter 1163 Prepare Gifts. Zai Yai was too busy to take care of his daughter-in-law. He had done his best by leaving Miao Jing at home to take care of Qiao Nan. As for old Master Zai, as an old man, he could do nothing to help his granddaughter-in-law. What he could do was to share interesting anecdotes that he heard from his friends with his granddaughter-in-law, making her happy. Apart from that, one other thing that he could do was to take good care of himself. It was only then could his daughter-in-law and granddaughter put all their attention on taking care of his granddaughter-in-law. He was being helpful by not creating any trouble for them. Now that Jiao Nan was already 8 months pregnant, the Zai family became increasingly worried for the babies as the days passed. Aside from the Zai family who was worried for Jiao Nan, Jiao Dongliang, who was at the Jiao family's residence in Pingcheng, was worried for Jiao Nan as well. When Jiao Dongliang first learned that he was going to be a grandfather, Jiao Nan was already more than 4 months pregnant and she knew that she was carrying twins. Now that Jiao Zijin went back to school after the summer break, Jiao Dongliang suddenly remembered that Jiao Nan was heavily pregnant. Nan is 8 months pregnant. She will probably deliver in more than a month. Since his daughter was about to give birth, as the maternal grandfather, he should make time to visit her. Someone from the parental family had to visit her after she had her babies. He wondered how Nan was doing now. Did the babies make life difficult for her? To Jiao Dongliang, his responsibility to Jiao Nan had been completed now that she was married. He could focus all his attention on helping his elder daughter, Jiao Zijin, search for her happiness. He knew that Jiao Nan was unhappy with his decision, but he could not leave the elder daughter in the lurch. He could only distance himself from the younger daughter so that she would not be upset or affected by the matters in her parental family. When Jiao Nan studied in the capital last year, she made a phone call to Jiao Dongliang every week in the 4 months that she was there. This year, apart from telling him that she was pregnant and calling him on tomb sweeping day, she did not contact him or chat with him. Jiao Dongliang had a guilty conscience. Since Jiao Nan did not call him, he dared not call her as well. He finally gave a phone call at the end of June, but it was because Jiao Zijin wanted to go on a holiday in the capital and he wanted Jiao Nan to take care of Jiao Zijin. The call ended in a rush and Ding Jiyi kept disturbing his conversation with Jiao Nan. 2 months had passed. The person who was the cause of the awkwardness, Jiao Zijin, was not around. Jiao Dongliang did not feel as guilty and he felt that he should give Jiao Nan a call to ask about her. He was the maternal grandfather. He should be notified of the delivery date of his grandchildren. Jiao Dongliang forgot to prepare a dowry for his daughter half a year ago as it was his first time marrying off a daughter. This time, Jiao Dongliang remembered that this was his first time being a maternal grandfather and he had to prepare red packets and presents for his grandchildren. Where are you heading to? Ding Jiyi had been staring at Jiao Dongliang for a long time. She noticed that he sat down by himself, frowning at one moment and smiling to himself in the next instant. He was behaving abnormally. If not for the fact that Jiao Dongliang went home to the Jiao family's residence every night and he did not stay out late or have other women's belongings with him, given his suspicious behavior, she would have suspected that he had a woman outside. The two of them had not remarried. Even though they stayed in the same house, they did not share the same room or bed. Ding Jiyi would try to sneak into Jiao Dongliang's room in the middle of the night to be intimate with him or just to share a bed with him. However, Jiao Dongliang would wake up when she laid down beside him. Seeing that Ding Jiyi was next to him, Jiao Dongliang would get up without another word, put on his jacket, and slept in another room, not forgetting to lock his room this time. It was as if Jiao Dongliang was a single young lady while Ding Jiyi was the lecher who was dying to lay her hands on Jiao Dongliang. They had been divorced for several years. Ding Jiyi had learned her lesson and dared not kick up a fuss. She was able to stifle her anger and keep silent. However, she would not be able to tolerate seeing Jiao Dongliang behaving oddly. Ding Jiyi stopped Jiao Dongliang in his tracks. You don't have to go to work today. Where are you going with your bicycle? I will go with you. She had found out in the past half a year that after old Jiao divorced her, he did not have any other woman. Even though his friends would introduce eligible women to him and asked him to go on blind dates, old Jiao would reject their kind intentions. Old Chiao did not have another woman when she was not by his side. She would not allow other women to snatch old Chiao from her now that they were staying together. Stop your nonsense. Stay at home. Chiao Dongliang was unhappy. Although they lived together, he would not allow her to interfere with his life. Unless it was to do with Chiao Zijin, Ding Ji had no right to stop him from doing what he wanted. Why can't I go with you? Are you up to no good? Also, don't forget that Zijin's and Chen Jun's relationship are still not confirmed yet. Don't stir up any troubles at this time. Her elder daughter refused to listen to her a month ago. Instead of staying in the capital, asking for some money from Jiaonan, and getting to know other good men, she came back to Pingcheng in defeat. Ding Ji was furious at Chiao Zijin for not listening to her. Chiao Dongliang parked his bicycle and stared at Ding Ji. True enough, Ding Ji dared not make up a fuss at Chiao Dongliang's attitude. After the divorce, Chiao Dongliang had finally mastered the way to deal with Ding Ji. Do you want to pick a fight with me? No, I don't wish to quarrel with you. She wanted to lead a good life with him, but he was not willing to do that. If so, stand aside. If you want to quarrel, I can do so as well. But he would never allow Ding Ji to tag along with him. Ding Ji did not need to take care of Chiao Zijin, and there was no need for Chiao Dongliang to provide for Chiao Nan as well. Since that was the case, the couple had each saved up their money diligently. Ding Ji was hoping that she could save up the money for her retirement, whereas Chiao Dongliang was saving the money for his two daughters as well as his grandchildren. Chapter 1164 Depend on her own efforts. He might not have lots of money, but he still had to spend the small amount of money that he had on the necessary items. He would get to see his grandchildren in less than 2 months. As the maternal grandfather, he had to prepare gifts for them. Chiao Dongliang understood that it was customary nowadays to give babies golden and silver jewelry to keep them safe. He had more than one grandchild. He had to shop around to buy 2 bracelets for them. Chiao Dongliang did not tell Ding Ji what was on his mind. But Ding Ji could not do anything about Chiao Dongliang. She would not behave like what she used to do in the past, being shameless and creating a din. Chiao Zijin and Ding Ji were not on good terms when she reported back to school. As soon as Chen Jun reached Pingcheng, he had told Chiao Zijin clearly that they could no longer be with each other and he wanted to break up. But Chiao Zijin refused to break up with him. A divorce was different from a breakup. Both parties had to sign the divorce agreement in order to divorce. As for a breakup, as long as one party had made up the mind, one could break up with the other party no matter how unwilling the other party was. Since Chen Jun wanted to break up with Chiao Zijin, the Chen family would not continue to pay for Chiao Zijin's school fees. If the Chen family supported a poor student through school, they would at least earn a good reputation for doing good deeds. But they would not have any returns by spending money on Chiao Zijin. They could do nothing about the previous losses. The Chen family needed to cut losses right now. Now that the Chen family would no longer provide for her, Chiao Zijin had no way to finish her diploma studies. The only way was for Chiao Dongliang and Ding Ji to take up the responsibility again as her parents to pay for her school fees. The Chiao family almost made a phone call to Jiaonan in the middle of August to ask her for money. Fortunately, Chiao Dongliang still had a conscience and he snatched the phone from Ding Ji. Chiao Dongliang warned Ding Ji not to make the call. Otherwise, he would smash the phone. He would make sure that Ding Ji coughed up all the money that she took from Jiaonan and he would send them back to Jiaonan. Jiaonan was married to Zai Sheng and she was still a student. The Zai family would have to provide for her daily expenses. It would be shameless to ask Jiaonan to take money from her in-laws in order to support her parental family. Chiao Dongliang refused to take any money from her. Seeing that Chiao Dongliang was so insistent, Ding Ji had no other choice but to give up on that thought. Ding Ji knew that she might dislike Jiaonan and Jiaonan had no feelings for her, but Chiao Dongliang was the only person who was able to get any money from Jiaonan. If Chiao Dongliang was unwilling to do that, even if Ding Ji had good plans, they would be useless. Therefore, Ding Ji had to part with her hard-earned savings reluctantly. She and Xiao Dongliang pooled their money together to pay for Xiao Zijin's school fees. But Ding Ji also told Xiao Zijin that she would only provide her with enough money to cover her daily expenses for a month. Thereafter, Xiao Zijin had to work part-time to earn money to cover her daily expenses. Ding Ji could not earn much to provide for Xiao Zijin. She had grown up and should be able to work to support herself. She could not rely on her parents. In short, Xiao Zijin was an adult and she already started a relationship. She had to provide for herself instead of adding to her parents' burden. Her parents could not help it that they were not capable and did not earn lots of money. Xiao Zijin left with her school fees as well as the money to cover her daily expenses for a month. Ding Ji had no idea what was on her mind when she left. Xiao Dongliang kept silent throughout, but he had his own thoughts about this. He did not stop Ding Ji as he hoped that Xiao Zijin would learn to depend on her own efforts. He could tell that Xiao Zijin tended to rely too much on other people. She felt that she had to rely on other people, including her parents, her sister, or even the man that she would marry in the future in order to lead a good life. Xiao Zijin was unwilling to listen to his advice because she felt that Chen Jun's family was well-to-do and she would be able to lead a good life after she married him in the future. It was too dangerous to harbor such thoughts. Perhaps it was only when Xiao Zijin earned money to support herself would she understand that as long as she was willing to work hard, she had the ability to support herself and she did not need to rely on others. In that case, Xiao Zijin would reconsider her relationship with Chen Jun. He hoped that when she looked for another boyfriend in the future, it would be based on his temperament and character instead of his family background as well as whether he was rich or not. That was why although Xiao Dongliang could tell that Xiao Zijin bore a grudge toward Ding Ji, he did not stop Ding Ji. Upon reaching school, as she was still angry, Xiao Zijin could not be bothered to make a phone call to tell her parents that she had reached safely. Ding Ji had made it clear that she would not give her a single cent apart from the money that she had with her. If she did not make a phone call, she could save the money and spend it on herself. Xiao Zijin did not call her parents. Instead, Xiao Dongliang made a call to her dormitory. It was Xiao Zijin's roommate who answered the call and passed the phone to her. Zijin, I can tell that you are unhappy that your mom only gave you a small amount of money and wanted you to work to support yourself. Zijin, you have grown up. You are an adult. I don't expect that you will be very outstanding in the future. My only hope is for you to be a useful person. Don't bear grudges against your mom. We have your best interests. Zijin, your mom and I are getting older. We will definitely leave the world earlier than you. You don't have to worry. While we are still alive, we will definitely provide for you. But have you thought about what is going to happen to you when we are gone? You will get married in the future and your husband will take care of you. It is not that I am being harsh, but we have seen it in the news that many people get divorced nowadays. Zijin, I hope that you will become a useful person and will not have to rely on other people. You can work hard to support yourself and you will still be able to lead a good life. Do you understand my kind intentions? Xiao Dongliang did his best to convince Xiao Zijin to rely on herself. He hoped that she could understand that her parents had her best interests. Dad, are you trying to tell me that the only person I can rely on is myself and that other people are unreliable? Xiao Zijin replied calmly. Yes. I am right about you. You can understand what I want to say. She had made a very accurate conclusion. She was indeed a high school student. She could express his meaning in simple words. Xiao Zijin sneered at Xiao Dongliang's cheerful tone. Dad, I understand what you mean. Don't worry. I understand everything. Chapter 1165 Give me all the money. I'm not chatting with you anymore. I have found a part-time job and need to leave for work now. If I don't work a little harder, I will have nothing to eat next month. After finishing her words, Xiao Zijin hung up the phone. Yes, she could not rely on anyone in this world. To her, the most reliable person was, of course, herself. If she did not depend on herself, would her mother persist in letting her continue her studies and allowing her to go through diploma studies? If she did not rely on herself, would Chen Jun agree to become her boyfriend and support her financially for so many years? She was not considered as relying on herself just because the money did not come out of her own pocket? Ridiculous. If she had used her brains a little less, the money would not have been spent on her. She had always been relying on herself. All of her father's words were nonsense. Facing the phone that had been hung up, Xiao Dongliang could only take it that Xiao Zijin's anger had not completely subsided. He had already made himself clear. Xiao Dongliang felt more at ease now. At the very least, there was no longer any misunderstanding between him and Xiao Zijin. As time passed, Zijin's anger would definitely subside. Sooner or later, she would understand her parents' pain and good intentions. After that phone call, Xiao Zijin did not make any other calls home. Anyway, Ding Jiyi was not going to give her any more money. She was thus not willing to waste the cost of making calls. On the other hand, Xiao Dongliang was thinking that Xiao Zijin had to make full use of the time outside lessons to work part-time and earn money. Otherwise, how would she be able to earn enough living expenses? In addition, he was not certain whether Xiao Zijin's anger had already subsided. If he were to call her again, the father-daughter pair might get into an argument if Xiao Zijin was still angry. That would not be meaningful then. Hence, Xiao Dongliang waited and did not make any further moves. He thought that Xiao Zijin would definitely contact Ding Jiyi and him when she was no longer angry. Xiao Dongliang, who was riding on the bicycle, quietly dismissed Xiao Zijin's situation in his heart. He then arrived at the jewelry shop. Xiao Dongliang did not go to a large shop. Instead, he patronized a jewelry shop with a good reputation that had been in business for a long time. He then inquired about the current price of gold. "Old Xiao, your family wants to purchase gold jewelry without an apparent reason." The boss of the shop looked at Xiao Dongliang curiously. It was not that he looked down on Xiao Dongliang. He had known previously that Xiao Nan was getting married. He thought that since everyone was long-time friends who knew each other so well, Xiao Dongliang would pick a few pieces of jewelry from his shop for Xiao Nan. Who would have known that he had not seen Xiao Dongliang coming to his shop to buy jewelry although half a year had passed since Xiao Nan's marriage? "Old Xiao, don't tell me that your elder daughter is getting married." The Xiao family had two daughters. The elder one was De Xiao and the younger one Xiao Xiao. Xiao Dongliang and Ding Jiyi were biased toward the elder daughter. They did not treat the younger daughter very well. This gossip did not only circulate within the quad. Many people who knew Xiao Dongliang heard about this too. The boss of the jewelry shop was one of them. Xiao Dongliang, embarrassed, smiled. "No, my elder daughter is still studying. There are 2 more years to go before she graduates. She won't get married so soon. It's my younger daughter. She is pregnant with twins now after marriage. I am here to buy something for my maternal grandchildren." "Oh, I see. Twins? That's good fortune. Your younger daughter is very blessed indeed." The boss of the jewelry shop had a look of surprise and admiration on his face. Due to the national planning policy, many families only have one child. The government does not even give them a chance to have a second one. Your family's daughter is having twins. Your son-in-law is very blessed. Right, what kind of jewelry are you looking for? Gold or silver? Necklace, wrist, or ankle bracelet? Xiao Dongliang glanced at the price of the gold and then carefully examined the carat and the price of the jewelry on display. He then gritted his teeth and bought 2 small gold bracelets. The small gold bracelets were tiny and round. They were not outstanding and did not look like kids' bracelets. It resembled more of those large exaggerated ring earrings typically worn by fashionable ladies. These 2 bracelets cost a total of 3,752 yuan. I will waive the small change of 52 yuan for you. You just have to pay me 3,700 yuan. The bracelets looked tiny, but they were not considered very light when combined. Moreover, the price of gold was not low now. Although the prices of this shop were already considered affordable, it was not cheap to buy the 2 pieces of jewelry. With this purchase, Xiao Dongliang used up all his past 6 months' earnings. Thank you. Xiao Dongliang took over the boxes carefully. In his mind, he started to plan when he could make a trip to the capital to visit his daughter and grandchildren. He would then pass this present to his 2 little maternal grandchildren. Xiao Dongliang was unaware that he eventually did not manage to hide the fact of buying these 2 tiny gold pieces of jewelry from Ding Ji. After spending some effort, Ding Ji found out the circumstances of the matter very quickly. She was so angry that she did not manage to take any bite of her dinner that night. Ding Ji was feeling unhappy. Of course, she had to make someone unhappy too. She made a phone call to the Zai family in the capital behind Xiao Dongliang's back. Hello, good day. This is the house of the Zai family. You're the auntie of the Zai family. Ding Ji was aware of the existence of this person. Her tone was extremely terrible. It was not because of other reasons. It was because Ding Ji still wished to go to the capital. She had given birth to Jiao Nan. Jiao Nan grew up drinking her breast milk. Now that Jiao Nan was married and living in the capital, she did not spare any thoughts for her, this biological mother. On the contrary, the auntie whom she was totally unrelated to was working for and taking a salary from the Zai family. She had followed the Zai family to the capital to enjoy life. Each time she thought of this situation, Ding Ji was filled with hatred. She shunned Jiao Nan for being so inflexible and heartless. If Jiao Nan was really smart, she should discuss with the Zai family to transfer all the money that the Zai family spent on the auntie to her maternal family. She should be filial to old Jiao and her. It was only right for her to do that. If the Zai family was indeed so wealthy and willing to bring a helper to the capital, why couldn't they fetch them, these 2 official in-laws, to the capital too? All of them were heartless. With feelings of resentment in her heart, the auntie of the Zai family became Ding Ji's target of hate and attack. You're just a paid housekeeper. What are you? How dare you take your master's call casually? Someone like you who doesn't even know the protocols should have been kicked out long ago. It's a waste of money to hire you. Ding Ji's mind swirled. The wretched girl never listened to her. Hence, she would not agree with her to make this auntie leave. However, if she were to find ways to force this auntie to leave and the auntie wanted to leave on her own accord, the Zai family would not have a choice then, no? When that time came, the Zai family would need someone to take care of the grocery shopping and preparing meals. She had been handling these chores for more than 10 years, even before she got married. They were not difficult at all. As long as the Zai family gave her the money that they were supposed to spend on the auntie, she would take care of all the Zai family's meals. Ding Ji was only concerned about getting money and looked down on the auntie. She did not consider at all whether it was really so easy to earn money from the boss that she would be working for. Regardless of how nice the Zai family was, the chores done by the auntie were definitely not as few as what Ding Ji thought. There were many more chores that she had to handle. Chapter 1166 Double the Earnings. Moreover, no matter how poor her relationship with Jiao Nan was or how much the Zai family disliked her, Ding Ji's identity as the in-law of the Zai family was a fact that would never change. Which family would be so moronic as to hire the in-law as an auntie to do household chores and pay her? Ding Ji felt that this was not a big deal, but the Zai family could not afford to lose this face. The auntie, who received a sudden scolding for no apparent reason, was so angry that her face turned red. She almost threw the phone in her hand out of the house. She had been working for the Zai family for so many years. As such, she had received numerous phone calls and encountered people of various backgrounds. Even the true prominent figures had been polite to a housekeeper like her. Ding Ji was a lousy one that she did not even look up to, yet how dare she flare up at her. Pay! Why are you so shameless? It's not as if you're paying me. Even if it's a waste, it won't be wasted on you. You're so shameless to say all these. You're treating other people's money as your own money, right? This auntie of the Zai family had heard about what kind of person Ding Ji was. What exactly is the matter? If there is nothing, I am hanging up. Knowing that Ding Ji was a good-for-nothing, the auntie could not be bothered to be angry with her. No matter what Ding Ji did, she did not have the capability to personally come to the Zai family to mess around. Ding Ji did not expect that the housekeeper hired and paid by the Zai family dared to be so hostile to her. It must be that wretched girl. She must have been bad-mouthing her in front of the Zai family whenever she could, to the point she had to be spat at by this housekeeper now. I am not looking for you. I am looking for my daughter. Ask her to come over and pass the phone to her. I have something to say to her. The person at the other end of the phone was just a helper. She would not waste energy and devalue herself by arguing with a helper. When that wretched girl took the call, she would see how to deal with that wretched girl then. That audacious small fly cum housekeeper. She would get the wretched girl to fire her later. The auntie seemed to have heard an extremely amusing joke. Ha ha ha, are you joking with me? Don't tell me you don't know what Nan Nan's current health situation is? All right. Speak if you have any matter. If not, I am hanging up. The old master and chief had already given her instructions. For any phone calls made by the Chiao family, if the caller was Chiao Dongliang, it would depend on Chiao Nan's mood whether she wanted to take the call. Besides Chiao Dongliang, Chiao Nan would not take any calls, be it from Chiao Zijin or Ding Ji. The whole Zai family was also not willing to take such calls. With the backing of the old master and chief, the auntie was fearless in making Ding Ji lose face. Are you going to speak or not? If not, I am hanging up. I am busy right now. The soup that she was stewing for Chiao Nan was still on the stove. She had to turn down the fire. How dare you? Ding Ji widened her glare. Do you know who I am? She was the wretched girl's biological mother. The wretched girl had the capability and rights to chase this stinky auntie out of the Zai family. The Zai family would not stop her either. Let me remind you. My daughter's womb is carrying the precious grandchildren of the Zai family. The status of the pregnant Chiao Nan must be the highest in the Zai family. The high status of Chiao Nan meant that she was also an important figure that the Zai family cared about. This was just a housekeeper and she dared to be at odds with her. She must be mad. Pfft! The auntie was both amused and angry. Really? I am giving you one last chance. What exactly is the matter? If you're not telling me, I am going to hang up. She was so shameless to have said those things. This shameless one also had to treat her with respect now. After talking for so long, the other party did not buy it at all. Moreover, her tone was increasingly disdainful. Ding Ji was enraged. The auntie heard noises of Ding Ji grinding her teeth coming from the phone. Her father had bought gold bracelets for the 2 children in her womb. He spent 6,700 yuan for that. As for the rest of the matters, Ding Ji believed that Chiao Nan would understand even if she did not say it. You want money? At the very least, the auntie understood her words. Fine. I know about this now. I will let Nan Nan know. As to what Nan Nan intends to do, wait for Nan Nan's call. Obviously, she felt that she had spent too much money and wanted her married daughter to subsidize a little. In that case, Ding Ji and Chiao Dongliang would not suffer any financial loss. At the same time, they had put on a good show as maternal grandparents. What a good plan! However, this kind of situation was not uncommon. After witnessing the more top-notch stuff that Ding Ji had done before, this situation was indeed a child's play in comparison. There was nothing to be angry about. 6,700 yuan. Zihua raised her eyebrows. Is it real or fake? If I didn't remember wrongly, recently, gold price is about 300 yuan each gram. So as to speak. Uncle Chiao bought 20 grams of gold. Even if there were 2 of them, on average, one gold bracelet was just about 10 grams. Typically, those for kids were not so heavy. This weight was enough to make a big bracelet the slimmer type for a lady. It was a tad too heavy to buy those for children. Is it 2 bracelets or 2 sets of gold jewelry? Otherwise, the quantity and amount did not match. Newborns were tiny and delicate. There was a superstition that things like gold jewelry could keep them safe. That was also to express the elders' blessing and love for the juniors. If it was too heavy, it would be pressing on the children and make them feel tired. That would not be nice then. Hence, regardless of whether one was wealthy, typically, the gold jewelry that they bought for young children would not be too heavy. In particular, given the Chiao family's situation, they were generous enough to be willing to buy some gold jewelry for her little nephew and niece. However, they bought something that cost almost 6,700 yuan at once. Did Uncle Chiao strike a lottery and become rich? The auntie nodded. That was what Ding Jiyi said. She was also very shocked that the Chiao family suddenly became so generous. They paid almost 7,000 yuan for something so casually. The auntie cast a weak glance at Chiao Nan. It was not because of other reasons. The auntie had heard before that the Chiao family used all their family savings for Chiao Zijin's studies. The problem was that Chiao Nan probably did not spend anything close to 7,000 yuan in total for the many years that she lived with the Chiao family. Facing the auntie's evasive eyes, Chiao Nan gave a bitter smile. All of you don't need to behave like that. I grew up in that family. Can I not know the temperaments of the people in that family? Also, Sister Zihua, don't believe in the price of 6,700 yuan. Most probably, we have to give a discount to the actual amount. My mom's words today are already considered very restrained. Chiao Nan really did not wish to bring up this kind of trick anymore. In her previous life, Ding Jiyi had always used the tactic of inflating the amount to settle scores with Chiao Nan. She then dug out all of Chiao Nan's money. If it was not enough, she would force Chiao Nan to find a few more part-time jobs until she could achieve the sum that she reported. It could not possibly be. The auntie was shocked and dumbstruck. Zihua also seemed to have been struck by a rod. So, they bought these items for the babies on their own accord, yet they want to get it back from us and double their earnings. Chapter 1167 Going to deliver the babies. Was this still a gift? Damn! This was obviously a highway robbery. That was too vicious. The auntie said, everyone knows the current gold price. Although there are geographical differences, the prices will not deviate too much. She told us this figure now, but won't we find out when we receive the gold jewelry? Is it meaningful to tell such a lie? It will be exposed too easily, no? Chiao Nan gave a wry smile. My mom will not admit it even if I see through her ploy. At most, she will throw me words and tell me to take it that I am being filial to my parents by giving more money than the actual cost. We can forget about getting back the money after it goes into her pocket. Most likely, my dad doesn't have anything to do with this 700 yuan. Her father would not be able to bring himself to buy something for his maternal grandchildren and then call his daughter to ask for twice the sum of money spent. If I did not guess it wrong, my mom made this call behind my dad's back. My dad is not aware of it. In other words, if she really subsidized this 6,700 yuan, it would end up in her mother's pocket. Her father would not have the chance to touch a single cent of it. To gain something without risking anything of one's own. Zihua took her hat off to Ding Jiyi. Earning so much despite not putting in any capital. Since Ding Jiyi was so high and mighty, why was she not in heaven? Zihua, who had been traumatized, drank some water to calm herself down. Chiao Nan, how are you going to handle this matter? She could not accept it if they were to really going to pay Ding Ji 6,700 yuan. Zihua was furious. As the party concerned, Qiaonan was extremely calm. There is no hurry in this matter. My dad is the one who paid for these items. Even if I really want to subsidize, I will pay my dad. I didn't receive a single cent from my dad when I got married. The problem is that my dad still has another lady to marry off. Regardless of how much money her father spent, she had to pay him back. Qiao Zijin was going to get married one day and she would demand a lot of dowries. When the time came and her parents could not afford the dowry, she did not want a situation of Qiao Zijin blaming her and saying that she had spent all the family's money. Zihua was breathing more normally now. I agree. We will do that then. They should pass the money to Uncle Qiao. No matter how muddle-headed Uncle Qiao was, he was much better than Ding Ji. At the very least, Uncle Qiao was not the type of person who would take other people's money for granted or like to ask for the sky. After discussing the situation of the Qiao family, Qiaonan's expression changed. She placed her hands on her womb and panted continuously. Why? Are you going to give birth soon? Zihua asked as she held on Qiaonan nervously. Qiaonan had been pregnant for 8 months. The Zai family, especially Zihua, had simply gone into a state of alertness. Zihua dared not leave Qiaonan's side at all. Sister Zihua, don't be nervous. I don't think I am giving birth soon. It's just the Braxton Hicks contraction during pregnancy. I'll be fine after a while. This was not the first time that Qiaonan encountered the situation. Hence, she did not panic. She had done so much research. Qiaonan was aware that unless she was bleeding or the water bag had broken, it was not the symptoms of childbirth. It has been tough on you. Looking at Qiaonan's high and tall womb, Zihua's heart ached for Qiaonan. The longer a child remained in the mother's womb, the stronger he would become. The babies were so fortunate. It was just that it had been tough on Qiaonan, this biological mother. Qiaonan had been very careful during her pregnancy. In 2 lifetimes, she finally had a child. No one placed greater importance than Qiaonan on the children in her womb. However, no matter how careful Qiaonan was, the situation of having twins was too difficult. When it was the end of September, Qiaonan, who was reading, suddenly felt wetness below her buttocks. She reached out and touched it. The water that she touched felt different. This made Qiaonan's heart and liver tremble. Sister! Sister Zihua! Qiaonan's trembling and off-pitched voice summoned Zihua. What happened? I have finished cutting the fruits. Try it and see if it tastes good. Sister Zihua, my water bag broke. I am going to give birth. No matter how calm she normally was, when this moment really came, Qiaonan was so scared that her face turned as white as a sheet. She almost cried out. Sister Zihua, it's not 9 months yet. How come? She had thought that her children would stay in her womb for a longer time. Don't panic. Don't be afraid. You are already doing very well. Remember that the doctor said that some pregnant ladies have premature births 7 or 8 months into their pregnancy despite having only 1 child in the womb. Many babies were born 9 instead of the full 10 months into the pregnancy, and these children are all very healthy. You're doing very well. I will be by your side. Nothing will happen to you. The babies and you will be all right. Zihua was also in a flurry. Her mind seemed to have been entangled. In the past, when she carried out missions, Zihua did not even blink when she shot the enemy dead personally. Her sister-in-law was going to give birth soon, and Zihua's tanned face actually turned whitish. Auntie, quickly call the hospital. Also, get the chauffeur to drive the car out. We are going to the hospital immediately. She should not have allowed Qiaonan to be so willful. When Qiaonan was 9 months pregnant, she should have arranged for Qiaonan to be hospitalized to prepare for childbirth. Clearly, the doctor had reminded them that Nan Nan was carrying twins and would certainly give birth earlier. At this moment, Zihua dared not drive the car at all. She could only get someone else to drive it. She was afraid that she would be too worried about Jiaonan and the children, and if her hands were to tremble, something would happen when she was driving. Zihua, I have already contacted the hospital. Once we arrive at the hospital, Nan Nan can enter the delivery room. Should I help you hold on to Nan Nan as we leave the house? The auntie was in a much better state than Zihua. However, it was inevitable that she also felt nervous. It was really because Jiaonan and the children in her womb were too precious. They could not afford to have an accident. Jiaonan disliked staying in the hospital. She hated the smell there. As soon as she stepped into the hospital, she would pant and feel suffocated. That was the reason that she insisted to stay at home to care for her pregnancy despite being 9 months pregnant. However, to play safe, Zihua made Jiaonan move from the second to the first floor of the house. That would save the trouble and danger of Jiaonan having to go up and down the stairs. Hence, the auntie dared to volunteer to support Jiaonan outside with Zihua. Zihua shook her head. No need. I have a lot of strength. I can carry Jiaonan alone. Help us open the door. This was the first time Zihua carried someone in this way. She had given this hug to Jiaonan and the latter's babies. Seeing that there was really water on Jiaonan's seat, Zihua was so scared that her arm's strength increased. Zihua carried Jiaonan into the car. The auntie was holding Jiaonan's belongings. All right. Quickly make your way to the hospital. Remember, fast and steady. Understand? Understood. The chauffeur looked strict and solemn. He then displayed his driving skills and steadily rushed to the hospital as fast as he could. Zihua carried Jiaonan down the car. The nurses in the hospital were already waiting at the entrance with the hospital bed. How is it? Besides the nurses and doctor, Tiandong was also standing by the bedside. Tiandong received the call of Dr. Wei, his old classmate cum senior, and rushed directly from the company to the hospital. Chapter 1168 I will accompany you throughout your labor. Tiandong had been busy with work recently and did not have much time to accompany Zihua. Tiandong knew that Zihua was very concerned about Jiaonan, so no matter how busy he was, he would definitely make time to accompany them, especially at times like this. It was as if his wife was going into labor and he was going to become a father. It was September now. The National Day was around the corner. Ziyai must be very busy. What was worrying was that even though Miaojing could not bear to leave Jiaonan at home, she had to accompany Ziyai on his work trip and could not take care of Jiaonan. Once Miaojing left, apart from the auntie, the only person left at home was Zihua. She was still a single lady who knew nothing about childbirth. Miaojing could not help but worry. Thankfully, Tiandong volunteered to help. He promised that he would look out for Jiaonan and her babies and he would liaise with the hospital and the doctors. He assured Miaojing that nothing would go wrong. That was why Miaojing finally agreed to leave with Ziyai. Tiandong meant his words. Once he knew that Jiaonan was going into labor, he put aside all his work and dashed to the hospital to make the necessary arrangements for Jiaonan. Tiandong wanted to show the Zai family that Zihua's relatives were his relatives as well. He would treat the people whom Zihua valued and cared for with utmost importance because he cherished and valued Zihua and was sincere to her. He loved Zihua. Therefore, he was willing to give his love and time to the people that Zihua cared for and loved. It was as simple as that. Seconds ago, Zihua was still in a panic, but she calmed down instantly at the sight of Tiandong. I have read a lot of books on childbirth. Can we not do a cesarean? She heard that it would be very painful. Of course. Tiandong held on to Zihua's hands as he gave his definite reply. Her hands were not smooth but rough. Tiandong had shaken the hands of many people, both men and women, during his course of work, but no single handshake was able to make his heart flutter and beat faster. He merely held her hands and he was so affected by it. Tiandong had a bitter yet sweet smile on his face. From a young age, it was destined that he would not be able to escape from this little hoyden. I have made arrangements with the doctor. Everything will be all right. Zihua let out a long breath. She shook her hands free from Tiandong's hold and leaned against Jiao Nan's bedside. Nan Nan, don't be afraid. I will be by your side. She was going to accompany her throughout her labor. Tiandong felt hurt that Zihua left his side now that she no longer needed his comfort. He looked sadly at her back. He had no other choice but followed after her. Are you going into the delivery room with Jiao Nan? I don't think that is a good idea. He heard that people who went into the delivery room would have a phobia toward childbirth. This usually happened to the fathers of the babies. Tiandong was worried that it would leave a phobia on Zihua and she would not be willing to experience childbirth in the future. As a traditional man, Tiandong loved kids. He did not want Zihua to go through the torture, but he had to realize his parents' dreams of having a grandchild. His parents were already advanced in years. No, I have to accompany Jiao Nan. Otherwise, I won't have peace of mind. Zihua was determined to go into the delivery room with Jiao Nan. She held onto her hands. Nan Nan has suffered a lot after marrying Zai Sheng. It was indeed true that military wives would have different married lives as compared to other women. But the problem was other military wives would have their mothers-in-law to accompany them into the delivery room. They were experienced and would be able to take care of them. However, Jiao Nan had no one with her except an inexperienced sister-in-law. As for the Jiao family, they could not be counted upon to help. Jiao Nan had no affinity with her parental family in this life. She only hoped to marry a good man and lead a happy life, receiving the love that she was not able to have in her parental family. However, the Zai family did not really take good care of Jiao Nan. Under normal circumstances, if a daughter-in-law was pregnant with twins, she would be waited upon as if she was the queen. But Nan Nan only had her sister-in-law with her when she was due for delivery. Tiandong smiled. In other people's opinions, the Zai family was beyond their reach, but once they were related to them, a good life would be awaiting them. However, Zihua had made it sound as if marrying into the Zai family was a totally different situation. Tiandong did not rebut her. He knew that for people who were after the influence and power that the Zai family held, it was true that being related to them would mean a good life ahead. But in Jiao Nan's case, she was simple and pure, and she only wanted to lead a happy and blissful life. She did not ask for much. In that case, what Zihua said was very true. Jiao Nan felt immense and excruciating pain. She feared that she might die from the unbearable pain. Although she had heard that childbirth was a painful process, she had to experience it to know the severity of the pain. Jiao Nan, who broke out in a cold sweat, said through clenched teeth, "Sister Zihua, there is no need to accompany me. I can do it by myself." Jiao Nan was worried that the childbirth process would frighten Zihua. Since she was unmarried, she would not have the courage to go into the delivery room. "Tiandong, Sister Zihua is being too reckless. Why you have to keep a good watch on her? I can do it by myself. I am telling the truth. Trust me." Jiao Nan trusted that Tiandong had made all the necessary arrangements with the hospital and doctors and made sure that she was well taken care of. She knew that she did not need to go through the pain that other pregnant ladies had to go through. "All right." Tiandong breathed a sigh of relief. He was glad that Jiao Nan was so considerate. He held Zihua by her shoulders. "I will keep a good watch on Zihua." He made a double-edged remark in reply to Jiao Nan's words. Jiao Nan smiled. "Sister Zihua is not that easy to deal with. I hope that you are serious." What happened in the previous life was too far away for her to remember. She could not remember what happened to the Zai family either. She was not sure if Sister Zihua saw through Weita's true colors and whether she was still single when Tiandong returned to China several years later. But in this life, it seemed that Zihua and Tiandong would have a good start. She hoped that Sister Zihua would find her happiness and would have a happy ending, leading a happy life. Nan, don't speak nonsense. Don't frighten me. Zihua understood the conversation between Xiaonan and Tiandong, but this caused her to panic further. She had the impression that Xiaonan was saying her last words. Before Xiaonan went into the delivery room, she had to ensure that Zihua would have a happy married life in the future. Tiandong felt touched. He was thankful that Xiaonan would be thinking of Zihua's best interests at this critical moment. Zihua, don't worry. Everything will be fine. We must trust that Xiaonan will be strong. Zai Sheng is not back yet. When he is back next time, he will be able to see his children. While Tiandong was reassuring Zihua, the nurses opened the door to the delivery room and Xiaonan was pushed into the room. Tiandong held on to Zihua. She could only watch helplessly as the lonely Xiaonan laid on the white bed sheets and was pushed by the doctor and nurses into the delivery room. Chapter 1169 The Arrival of the Three Babies. When I give birth in the future, my husband must accompany me. He has to face it with me. Xiaonan must be full of anxiety and worry. She had no wish to go through all these by herself. She was not as strong and as brave as she thought. Don't worry. I will definitely be by your side. I won't let you face this by yourself. I am different from Zai Sheng. I will be able to stay by your side. He would be by her side from the first day when she was pregnant until the day the baby was delivered. He would help take care of the baby and watch as the child grew up. Xiaonan was due for delivery. Zihua had no idea who she should inform and whether the other party would answer her call. Why is it so quiet? Don't be anxious. This might be good news. Tiandong was not experienced either. He had no idea what would happen during childbirth. Nevertheless, he had to reassure Zihua. Seconds ago, she was worried that it was so quiet, but seconds later, she heard Xiaonan's cry of pain. Xiaonan was behind closed doors. Zihua could barely hear what was going on in the delivery room or what the doctor was telling the nurses. She leaned against the door, trying to figure out what was happening. Xiaonan's cry of pain was the only sound that she could hear. Take a seat. I heard that the childbirth process will take some time. Some pregnant ladies took 24 hours to give birth to their child. Xiaonan and the babies will be all right. You will definitely be an auntie. Are you hungry? Shall I buy some food for you? Tiandong checked the time. He was worried that Zihua would be hungry. He did not wait for her response. After Zihua took a seat, he bought some food and drinks and returned as soon as possible. Tiandong handed the food to Zihua. Although she held the bread in her hands, Zihua was not in the mood to eat anything. Instead, she drank some mineral water. I am not hungry. I really have no appetite. Let's wait until later. Tiandong was helpless. He could do nothing but wait with her. There were some noises in the delivery room 3 to 4 hours later. A loud wailing sound made by the baby brought hope and joy to Zihua's face. She cried in happiness. I am an auntie. I will be an auntie in the future. Xiaonan has delivered the baby. Zihua was exhilarated. She grabbed Tiandong's hands tightly. He did not mind that it hurt. Yes, you are an auntie and Zai Sheng is a father. There is one more baby yet to be delivered. Xiaonan will be out very soon. Now that the first baby was delivered, the second baby should be delivered very soon as well. As expected, the cries of a baby could be heard from the delivery room half an hour later. But the cries sounded somewhat different. She has made it. She has finally made it. Zihua felt reassured when she heard cries of another baby coming from the delivery room. She relaxed and collapsed, all the tension gone from her body. Fortunately, Tiandong caught her in time. Otherwise, she might have a bad fall. It has been some time. Why aren't they out yet? Aren't they going to show me my nephew and niece? Ever since they knew that Jiaonan had twins, the most common topic discussed in the Zai family would be whether they were boys or girls. In Zaihua's opinion, it was best to have a boy and a girl. I have no idea. Perhaps they need time to clean up. Tiandong frowned. He could feel that something was amiss. The nurses should have brought the babies out to show the family after they were delivered. Zaihua was waiting anxiously for the nurses to bring the babies to her. She had no idea that it was sheer chaos in the delivery room. My goodness, the pregnant lady has triplets. There is one more baby in her womb, but the mother is drained of all energy after giving birth to 2 babies. She is unconscious. The water bag had broken. If they delayed further, once the fluid was drained, the 3rd baby would be in danger. It would be detrimental to the mother as well. The doctor and nurses knew that Jiaonan was from the Zai family. Nothing must happen to Jiaonan or the babies. The problem was nobody knew that Jiaonan was carrying triplets. As her first natural delivery and first childbirth, it was considered a smooth delivery to give birth to her first baby in 4 hours. But things would be different as she had to give birth to another child right away. It was much more strenuous for the mother to give birth to 2 babies as compared to 1 baby. Doctor, what do we do now? The mother is still unconscious. The nurses tried to wake Jiaonan up, but it was in vain. Jiaonan's vital statistics did not look good. The nurses were anxious. Doctor, shall we ask the family members to sign an agreement form to perform a cesarean? Otherwise, the 3rd baby and the mother would be in danger. This could not drag any further. No, the doctor shook her head. It's too dangerous. Can someone go out to get the family member to come in or to carry the child to the mother? The mother has to wake up to give birth to the 3rd baby. We have to hurry. It was still possible to deliver the 3rd child. They must hurry. Zaihua was stunned upon hearing the news. Is my sister-in-law all right? Is she in grave danger? Let's not talk further. What is important now is that the mother wakes up as soon as possible and gives birth to the last baby. Otherwise, the 3rd child may be in danger and it will be detrimental to the mother's health. The nursemaid Zaihua went through the disinfection process and she changed into a proper outfit to enter the delivery room. Zaihua sucked in her breath, looking pale and serious. One of the nurses handed one of the babies to Zaihua. The baby was so soft and tiny. He did not seem to have bones and felt like a ball of flesh. Zaihua cradled the baby in her arms and walked to stand beside Jiaonan. She placed the tiny red hands of the baby onto Jiaonan's face. Nan, you must wake up as soon as possible. We are going to have 3 babies instead of 2 babies at home. You have 1 more baby in your womb. If you don't wake up now, we will not be able to keep the 3rd baby. You must not give up. The baby was wrapped in a white towel. He started crying beside Jiaonan for no reason. Jiaonan frowned slightly and moved her lips, as if calling out to the baby. The doctor and the nurses were relieved. The mother is awake. Hurry! There is 1 more child to deliver. Jiaonan finally gave birth to the 3rd child amid the wailing sounds of the baby. The 3rd child was smaller than the previous 2 babies and it did not cry as loud as the previous babies. The 3rd baby whimpered softly like a tiny kitten. Nan, you have done it. You have given birth to 3 babies. They are doing fine. You are amazing. Chapter 1170 Mass Production. Jiaonan could hear faint sounds of Zaihua's voice as she spoke to her. She tried her best to use her last ounce of energy to give birth to the last baby. Now that the baby was delivered, she relaxed, curling the corners of her lips. She could finally drift off to sleep with peace of mind. It was too exhausting to give birth to 3 babies. Give me the baby. The baby will feel uncomfortable at the way you are holding them. But there is no hurry. You can take your time to learn the correct way. Everyone in the delivery room felt relieved. The nurse took the baby from Zihua so that the doctor could examine them. Some of the nurses cleaned up Jiaonan, while some helped take care of the 3 babies. The doctor smiled at Zihua after examining the babies. Congratulations! They are triplets. The firstborn and the secondborn are boys while the thirdborn is a girl. 3 babies. Are there really 3 of them? Zihua felt dizzy when she stared at the 3 babies who were wrapped nicely in towels and placed on the table side by side. Didn't you say that there are only 2 of them? Zihua was so overjoyed that she behaved like a child. She lifted 3 fingers, but she was, in fact, talking about 2 babies. It could be that we did not notice them during the checkup. We usually determine the number of babies based on the fetal heartbeat. There would be instances where the fetal heartbeats are identical. The machine and technology were not as advanced and accurate. But she believed that it would be more accurate in the future. Nevertheless, congratulations! We have gotten through a daunting experience without mishap. Congratulations to the arrival of the 3 babies. They were blessed to have 2 sons and 1 daughter. Zihua patted her face, feeling pain in her face. It was then that she was certain that she had not been dreaming. It was the truth that she had 2 nephews and 1 niece. Doctor, what about the babies? Is everything all right with them? It was no wonder that she had the feeling that Jiaonan's tummy was larger than usual. It was as if her tummy was transparent and was about to burst. As a result, she would often have nightmares and wake up in the middle of the night. It turned out that Jiaonan might be slim, but her tummy was able to contain 3 babies. Previously, she was worried that Jiaonan's tummy was too large and the babies might be overnourished. Now, Zihua was worried that the 3 babies did not have enough nutrition and that they were underdeveloped. In normal cases, pregnant ladies would take in food that was sufficient for 2 people. In Jiaonan's case, she had to take in food sufficient for 4 people. It was almost the size of a family. The 3 babies had to depend on Jiaonan to provide nutrition for them. Zihua felt uneasy at the thought of that. Don't worry. It is normal for mothers who carried more than 1 baby to have a premature delivery. The mother exercised and had been well taken care of. She only went into labor in her 9th month. It was good enough. I have done a check on the 3 babies. Their hearts and lungs are functioning well and they are well developed. They are considered to be fairly healthy. Compared to the size of the baby in single-child pregnancy, the 3 babies were indeed smaller in size. It did make a difference to share the nutrients among the 3 babies instead of having all the nutrition to oneself. Normal babies would weigh 2.5 to 3.5 kilograms. For your family, the elder brother weighs 2,350 grams, and the younger brother weighs 2,300 grams. The sister is the lightest. She weighs 2,000 grams. I have helped deliver many triplets. Most of them are only about 1,500 grams. Therefore, it goes to show that you have taken good care of the mother. Zihua sniffed. It is Nan Nan who is outstanding. She is fabulous. She is very smart and she does very well in her studies. She is the top humanities student in the college entrance examination and she is one of the top students at Peking University. Therefore, she will do a better job than others when she is pregnant. Upon hearing the doctor's feedback about the babies, Zihua was especially proud of Jiaonan. If not for Jiaonan, they might expedite the delivery and the babies would not be so healthy and strong. Although her nephews and niece were smaller than other babies, Nan Nan had done a very good job providing them with nutrition during her pregnancy. The 3 babies weighed up to a total of 7 kilograms. It was no wonder that nearing her 3rd trimester, Nan Nan would feel backache when she lay down to sleep. Anyone who carried something that weighed a few kilograms on their waist would find it tiring and exhausting. Mothers were the greatest people in the world. Did she really have triplets? Tiandong was surprised when 3 reddish, wrinkled, and tiny babies were brought out of the delivery room. He thought that Jiaonan carried twins. Therefore, he only prepared 2 sets of presents. In that case, he had to prepare another present for the third baby. Zai Hua, who came out with the babies, cried while she smiled. Yes, Nan Nan is so fantastic. She has brought 3 babies to the Zai family. 2 of them are boys and 1 of them is a girl. She is fabulous. I am so grateful to her. Not only will I have nephews, but I will have a niece as well. I feel very much like crying. I cannot hold back my tears. What should I do? Zai Hua was crying uncontrollably. She had no idea why she would be so emotional, and she could not stop crying at the sight of the 3 reddish and wrinkled babies. She only knew that the only thing that she felt like doing right now was to have a good cry. She was there by her side when her niece was brought to the world. She was the one who welcomed her to the world. The child was so adorable. I carried my nephew in my arms. Do you know he is so tiny and he is nestled in my arms? He is smaller than my arms. He is so soft that I dared not hug him. I know. Don't cry, don't cry. Tiandong's heart ached for Zai Hua. He pulled her into an embrace and patted her lightly on the back, as if he was consoling a child. He did not mind that her tears had dirted his expensive shirt. It was most probably ruined and he could not wear it anymore even after he washed it. He hugged her for about 5 minutes before he passed her a bottle of water. He unscrewed the cap for her and she gulped down the water, finishing the entire bottle. Hua Hua, it is mealtime now. Should you give a call to your parents to tell them the news? Perhaps you should try calling Zai Sheng as well, telling him that he is a father of triplets. Tiandong felt envious at the mention of triplets. He was 2 years older than Zai Sheng. He longed to be a father as well. The problem was the person he liked had yet to agree to marry him. He did not know when they would have kids. On the other hand, Zai Sheng, who was 2 years younger than him, had become the father of 3 babies. The number of babies was this a mass production? As a man, Tiandong was full of envy. Zai Sheng was indeed capable.